Hello everyone, and welcome back to In the Meadow, the relaxing Q&A series where we dash about this beautiful world as woodland creatures, eating berries and flowers and searching for those mythical runestones full of so many goodies. There's just like a bevy of lost badgers behind here. It's adorable. Ooh, oh dang, I thought this was one of the rare pieces, but it's just a bear. It's not even a bush. But welcome back. This is our Q&A series where you guys leave questions in the comments and I provide the answers while we dash around a beautiful world, enjoying whatever it is we might be able to discover. So I wonder where everybody else went. We just had like a bunch of lynxes in charge and they vanished. So I might want to wait till our lead lynx returns to us while everybody eats these adorable berries. But yes, so welcome back everyone. And we are going to be diving straight into some of your guys' questions so I can try to get through a few more of them this time. You have left so many lighthearted and so many serious questions, and I really love getting to know each other quite a bit more by sharing my answers to them. And one of the most amazing things that has been happening lately is that you guys have actually been leaving your answers to some of the questions that have been asked to me in the comments, and as a result I have had the chance to learn more about you. I think that's really amazing. Never leave answers that feel a little too personal or make you feel uncomfortable, but it's just fantastic to see our community grow together and to get to know you just like you get to know me. So thank you guys so much for that. Again, don't ever leave answers that you feel are too personal, but we have some fun things. Just learning what your guys' favorite Pokemon is, for instance, means a lot to me. It truly does. All right, let's see. Is there anything over here? Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and follow the crowd. I'm gonna let them lead. I'm gonna be distracted enough answering your guys' questions. I absolutely love it. But all right, so let's go ahead and dive on in with our first question of the day from Ella Kendall. And Ella asked, Siri, how do you make so many good videos in such a short amount of time? Basically, what's your inspiration to make videos? And that's a really, really good question because I know a lot of people don't understand why we have so many videos on our channel, why we have so many series, and it comes down to two things. One thing is that I am the main breadwinner for two families. For my family with Chips while he goes to school and finishes up his PhD program. Holy moly, this thing just appeared like right out of thin air. That was exciting. Yeah, look at the bear. The bear has the right opinion about this. Oh guys, look! And we have a new skin! Oh my gosh, I think we only have a couple left for the bunny. Oh my goodness, I have little blue bunny paws. This is the best. Oh my gosh, I've never seen this bunny before. Well, that was very exciting. Ella, your question was clearly a very lucky one. I didn't expect that. All right, let's go follow the little blue bear and get moving. My goodness, but why do I make so many videos? How do I make so many videos? The why is because this is my full-time thing now, being able to be a pixel biologist and trying to wake up every day and find ways to share a lot of happiness and excitement and joy with you is my full-time thing now, and it's amazing and fantastic and wonderful and can be very unstable, as anybody who's been on YouTube probably knows about. You never really know what's going to happen with YouTube. You never know if a video is going to be popular or unpopular, and you earn money per views at a very, very, very low rate. You definitely aren't rolling around in lots and lots of views. Let's see where everybody is going. It looks like there's another huge group, so we might follow this group and try to meet up with the other huge group that's kind of around the tree. So let me see, maybe I can lead the way because it seems like some people are following this adorable bunny. But we make a lot of videos for kind of three main reasons, and I'll just go through them really quickly, and if you guys want to know more, we can do a more detailed video about it, or I could even do kind of like a YouTube Q&A that I can do over on my vlog channel that'll talk about the science behind it. But basically guys, this is my full-time thing, so I need to make lots of videos in order to make sure that I can pay the bills and I can take care of my beloved Chips and I can take care of my parents and make sure that everyone is fed and housed and the rent is paid on time and so on and so forth. So that's one reason that we make so many videos. The second reason we make so many videos is because we make such a wide variety of videos. I love being able to make so many different types of videos. I don't really restrict myself to one type of content because I want to follow my heart. I want to follow my heart and my inspiration, and I adore that we have little groups and little niches within our community who really love a certain type of game, like virtual families, for instance. It may normally only get about a few thousand people who watch it, but the people who do watch it are so dedicated and they love it so much that I'm just so happy to continue sharing that story with them, even if it's not the most popular thing. And so honestly, that's not the smartest business decision to make. The smartest thing to do with YouTube would be grab your most popular series and only focus on that. And that is why people who are much more talented and focused than I am have been able to grow so much more than I have grown. Let's go towards this big group of people over here, I think. But they've been able to grow so much more because they focus on the popular thing. And I probably should do more of that, to be honest. But I just love our niche stuff. And I love the inspiration that I draw from all of the different series that we do. I don't like playing just one type of game because you never know what kind of inspiration or idea you might get from other games. We have crossovers between our games all of the time. So that's one of the reasons I make so many videos. And then the third reason is just I have so many stories to tell. I just feel so overflowingly excited about all of the opportunities that we might have to tell stories in Sims 4, Sims 3, and Meadow, and another story in Shelter 2 I would love to do soon, playing Yonder. I adore having all of those different avenues to possibly be able to tell you guys stories, and I'm very not disciplined with making myself stick to just one or two. I'm getting a little bit better at being more focused and disciplined with our seasonal events. They're actually designed to help me focus and finish series before darting out to another series, but it's still a skill that I am struggling to learn. But we do make so many videos because I have a family to support, and as you guys know, probably from having seen the stuff going on, oh, look at the little muddy paws, it's just adorable. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I absolutely love the mud. Oh, here's my fox friend running alongside me, getting muddy with me. That's just so cute. Oh my gosh. But that's why we have so many videos. I take care of my family, and those ads that run in front of the videos, or having YouTube Red, or being a Patreon, are entirely how I put a roof over my head and food in my family's stomachs. And the more videos I make, the more that I can channel my love and my concern and my devotion to my family into a viable life, a viable career together. So, oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of creatures in a little group behind us. So let's turn around and try to go join them. Ooh, and there's a little flower. I'm just going to go ahead and eat that. So that sounds really serious and not quite as fun of an answer. But it's because on one level, it is the thing that right now has amazingly unfolded into becoming my career and part of my lifestyle, and being able to wake up every day and think, how can I bring a little bit of joy and peace and kindness into my community's lives? It means everything to me. And so if making more videos is what can make the community healthier, then of course I'm going to try to do that. Of course I am. I'm going to try my best to be able to handle whatever challenges need to be thrown at me to try to make this community last as long as it can. And when things get wonky, then I'm looking at alternatives, but I'm going to write it out for as long as I can. So anyway, that's one of the reasons we make as many videos. But honestly, that's not a good enough reason, as important as it is, to push me as far as I do. So just my passion for telling so many stories, and my excitement for telling so many stories, and my urge to discover so much of the world and discover new things and discover new stories in our various games and with the various characters that we have created. That is why we have so many videos too. I really enjoy just seeing where our Sims are going to go. I really enjoy seeing where the new games are going to take us. And I always have a very deep appreciation. This deer is just leading us in circles, isn't it? It sure is. I wonder if it's trying to start a deer-only club. Oh my goodness. All right, across we go. Boink! There we go. But yeah, that's one of the reasons we tell so many stories and we have so many adventures. All right, and then Yurli asked, what is your favorite niche tribe you've played through or you've done? And it can be from any date. And my favorite tribes we've actually talked about in the past. One of them would be the Yukira tribe, and the other would definitely be the Cookie Tree, the Nest Tree tribe. I really loved them because that's when I was first really starting to understand how to play a niche. And I love that we had all of those cookie creatures born. That was very delightful and exciting for me. So that was my other favorite tribe. And yeah, the Yukirs, because they are so long running, they have covered so much, they have done so much, and because they're probably in what was, kind of still is, but will probably change over time, my favorite version of niche with all of the randomized islands. That's why I love the Yukirs, because you just never knew what was going to be on the horizon for them. Whereas in these newest versions of niche, you kind of have a vague idea of what to expect from island to island because they're sort of linked to one another. So there's that. And then Flying Fluff asks, Seri, will you continue the Twin Bark Town series? I've really fallen in love with it, and I wish I could. That was an example of doing something that was popular but took way too much time to do and wasn't helping me to be able to take care of my family or my community, even though it was really fun. But Twin Bark Town was my first attempt at a true blue, pure Minecraft role-playing series. It was really fun to try to do until I ran into the problem of realizing I didn't have a good plot. I didn't have a good plot to focus on because actually the story of an animal rescue, unless I really, really messed around with it, was a very sad story, you guys. I didn't know how, and I'm still always thinking about how to approach the idea of showing you guys animals that were in bad situations, that were unhappy, that ended up having happy, healthy homes. And I feel a little bit more mature as a writer now, especially after our Warrior Cat series. I feel like maybe I could handle that. But one of the biggest reasons that I gave up on Minecraft, our Minecraft roleplay series, Twin Bark Town, is that A, I'm just one person and it wasn't popular enough to justify spending all my time on it, because if I did, I would not have made enough money because you only got such a tiny amount back. I would not have made enough money to even make like $1 an hour for what I invested in terms of working on it. And that's not sustainable when I have 2 families to support, right? And then the other problem is I realized I didn't know what the plot would be, how the plot would unfold, because I would be focusing on animals that were in really bad situations and then putting them in good situations. But it would be really painful to be like, this dog broke a leg. And it's like, no, that's too sad, too intense, too serious. And I didn't feel like I had the writing maturity at the time to write about that to the age range that our audience usually is. I could have written about those kinds of serious things even back then, no problem, and still could, if it was for a audience of my similar age range, you know what I mean? But we have a lot of younger people in our audience, and so I didn't feel like I was mature enough as a writer to handle those more serious things in a way that did respect to how serious the situation was, but also was respectful to the fact that we had younger people in attendance. So I didn't want to talk down to them by making things too simple, but I didn't want to make things too painful and serious either. So that's why Twin Bark Town kind of hit a wall, and I realized I had to let it go. It was a great idea. It was really fun. I worked so hard at building up that world, but I realized that I didn't really have a plot that could survive, because all the plots I came up with were too sad or serious or didn't seem to be in the right direction. And now I feel like I've matured a lot. So maybe it'll be something I return to in the future, but I really want to focus on our fantasy stories for a little while, because I have so many ideas that can tread that line of being appropriate for our entire audience while still being entertaining for our older audience as well as our younger audience for our fantasy farming Minecraft series, compared to if I tried to tackle something as serious as an animal rescue again. All right, and then Dodo Raptor asks, Did you read Harry Potter? Did you read Percy Jackson? If yes, did you like them? And yes, I did read Harry Potter. I loved it very much. The very first Harry Potter book actually came out the year I turned 10. So I kind of grew up with the characters in Harry Potter. Every year, another book would come out, and they would be 1 year older, and every year I would be the same age. And that was really fun. That was really, really fun. I remember being absolutely delighted about that. And just remember feeling like a lot of affinity with the characters. And I remember feeling, because I grew up with it, you had to wait a whole year. So there was the excitement and the hype of the new book coming out every single year. And because I was of the generation when Harry Potter was first released, I was part of all of that excitement and hype at the same age as the characters in the book, and with all of my peers at middle school and then high school who were still into it. We got to grow up, we got to graduate from our actual high schools the same time that the characters in the book got to graduate from Hogwarts into the adult world. So I feel really, 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 really grateful that that worked out the way it did for me, because there's never been another experience like that, where suddenly it was like, bookworms of the world unite! And I had some way to connect and communicate with my peers. I was such a loner. I was so isolated and lonely, and I didn't get along well with the other kids in school at the time because I thought they all hated me. How could they like me? Because I didn't like myself. But being able to connect with other people through Harry Potter who were the same age as me, and we were the same age as the characters, was a huge relief. It was a breath of fresh air to really get to spend time with my peers and have a good middle ground. And I've learned as time goes on that everybody needs to kind of have a feeling of being able to reach out and connect with any stranger that they meet, but especially with strangers that you feel are kind of like your peers, when you're in high school at least, so that you don't feel completely isolated. And books are a fantastic middle ground. Books are an amazing middle ground for being able to let people who otherwise may kind of warily look at each other and not really be sure about one another to connect, and being able to talk about your favorite books and be bookworms together has no doubt brought together many a friendship that otherwise might not have happened. The other things that our community actually focuses on, and our community actually does, that I love, that does the same sort of connecting people who might otherwise never even think to talk to each other, are animals. That was one of the best and biggest things that I learned when I first worked at a pet store. I was so shy. I couldn't believe that they wouldn't let me work on the cleaning crew. I hired on at the pet store under the assumption that I could just work for the cleaning crew and take care of the animals and not have to look anybody in the eye or talk to them. And instead, they looked at me, they nodded, they went, "You've got a nice smile. You're going to be on the sales floor." And I panicked. I thought it was going to be miserable. How was I going to approach these strangers? This was my worst fear come to life, having to just walk up to strangers, not only talk to them, but get them to like me enough to be able to like suggest things that they're going to spend their money on. No, panic. But then I learned, just like books and Harry Potter, that animals are another great middle ground where people who have no idea about each other can sit down and end up talking for ages, and you don't have to talk about anything else. You might not agree on so much of the rest of life. If you had chosen to talk about a different subject, you might actually be in a argument with the stranger. But talking about somebody's pet dog and being able to look at pictures of said pet dog and being able to appreciate pet dog or cat or hamster or squirrel or whatever they had was utterly transformational. Because it was a uniter, a friendship uniter. It was the middle grounds that was safe. And when I was in Taiwan this summer, the same thing happened. It was a middle grounds talking about animals. If somebody had a cute dog and I gestured towards the dog and smiled and just would say cute in English, it was the middle ground. We got each other. They understood what I was saying. They were excited, and we could just focus on gesturing to the dog and being excited about the dog together. And that's what Harry Potter was for me in high school. these were kids that I had more or less ignored or been ignored by or just never even looked twice at my entire high school career, all 4 years. And then suddenly there's Harry Potter, and you could see somebody walking by, because that was kind of way before Kindle, actually. You'd see somebody walking by with a hard copy, and you'd be like, oh, wow, how much have you read? And you could sit and talk about Harry Potter during lunch with this stranger that you may not talk to again, but it helped a lot to have those middle grounds, to take away my fear of others, and to have those middle grounds to realize other people aren't really as different from me as I thought, and they might have really awesome opinions and thoughts that I would have never really given credit towards before. They might have really great views on the world. They might have really great, insightful views about things that I like, and also they might get just as excited about things that I like that I get. And that really changed everything. The idea that the things that make me so excited, that I felt so alone in being excited about, other people might share with me. Holy moly, that was so exciting. And that is what I feel like our community actually does. Our community is kind of, in a way, to me, the Harry Potter of animal and video game lovers. We can provide a little refuge for people who love those things and don't have anyone else to share them with. We get comments like that every single day. People who feel super lonely and isolated at school because their friends don't like the same thing that they like. There's no one in their school who likes the same things that they like. Oh my goodness, there's a badger. There's a badger. Oh, they're covered in mud. Oh, we're covered in mud. They threw mud at us. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. Look at the little sneaky things. I didn't know you could throw mud at each other. That's adorable. But yeah, that's what I feel like our community can do, is provide that sort of middle grounds where maybe we won't agree on everything in life, but we can get excited about things that other people don't get excited about together. And that's a really powerful and beautiful and amazing thing here. So I hope that's what you guys will continue to do, is just share your excitement and feel safe and secure in the knowledge that even if occasionally a bad apple might roll into the barrel, we'll pluck that bad apple out, and everybody else here is here to celebrate animals and how cool the natural world is, and also these beautiful video games and the community that we're building up around all of it. So thank you guys so much. I'm getting a little bit better at going through your questions a little bit faster, but there are so many of them. So I will see you guys next time for more wandering and meandering in the meadow. Until then, guys, go find the thing that you love, find the thing that makes your heart feel curious and passionate, and pursue it with joy. And I'll see you then. Bye-bye.